Is there, right? They have a proper digestive canal with 2 openings, but whereas there or here it is only, I mean here in the middle it is only one, and one for insertion and one for egestion. These have 2 types. One is protostomes and then deuterostomes. Protostomes na mouth develops from a blastopore region and the anus develops later. But whereas here na vice versa. Anus develops first and then the mouth develops second. Example on the annelids, mollusca and arthropoda. Here it is echinoderms and chordates. Sorry. Okay. Next is segmentation. Segmentation na? Yes. Externally and internally. And segmentations of 2 types. One is metameric and then pseudo-metamerism. Metameric na enna na divides both externally and internally, that is called as metamerism. Iduve pseudo na it is divided, the body part is divided into many parts. Ana mela vandu meta na it is only 2, external and internal, but whereas pseudo-metamerism na what? Pseudo na body part வந்து எத்தனை parts ஆனாலும் divides into different parts or segments called as pseudo. Yes, okay. Another is notochord. Notochord na என்னது அது? முதுகு தண்டு. Okay, center bone. Yes. It is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side of the embryonic development in some animals, and the animals with notochords are called as chordates, and without that is non-chordates. Okay, non-chordates, example Porifera to echinoderms. Okay, and next we will see some of the important features of them. The first one is cephalization. What is cephalization? இல்ல cephalization என்ன system? என்ன system? Brain. Okay, cephalon brain, cephalum, cerebellum, so it comprises of the brain. So அப்போ வந்து brain எதுக்கு அது யூஸ் ஆகுது? Yes, control. இது சொன்னியா? சொல்லு. இல்ல பரவாயில்லை சொல்லு. Controls ya coordination. Appendages na? Appendages அப்படினா appendages na என்னது? அங்க என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கு? Wings, external, yes, like projections like, okay. And then digestive system na, we know digestion, and that is divided into intracellular and extracellular. Intracellular na can eat only tiny food particles, but whereas extra na we can eat big foods and all, big size. And respiratory na breathing. Yes, appo various forms, or organism various forms of respiration is there. And the next system is circulatory. Circulatory na blood vessels. Yeah, blood vessels, comprised of blood vessels and also what? Blood vessels. Appuram vera na mukkiyamaana circulatory system ku? Yes, heart. Okay, heart that comprises which transports the materials to all over the parts. And then excretory na? Yes, excretion occurs. அதுக்கப்புறம் based on the ஒரு animalsக்கு ஒரு இதுல excrete ஆகும், ஒரு amount வந்து வெளிய excrete ஆகும். So அத பேஸ் பண்ணி animals வந்து அவங்க classify பண்ணிருக்காங்க. என்னன்னா ammonia excrete பண்ணிச்சு, அந்த organism ammonia excrete பண்ணிருச்சுனா அது called amino acids excrete பண்ணி, sorry, amino acid na it is called aminolytic. Ammonia excrete பண்ணிச்சுனா it is called aminolytic. And then urea na it affected urea na urolytic, uric acid na uricolytic. Okay. Oh no, sorry, telix. Oh, letics. Okay, sorry, telix, right? Okay. And nervous system na? Huh? Yes, coordinating and maintaining and controlling the body. And then endocrine na? It secretes hormone. Endocrine, it secretes hormone. For what? For reproduction. Like some mechanism like that. Okay. Next is sensory organs. Sensory organs na? Yes, feeling external stimuli and respond to them. And then skeletal na? Bones kapo framework kudukradhukku, mechanical support. That is of 2 types, endo and exo. Endo na it is internal, exo na outside. Yes. Idu sex na? For reproduction. Okay. Okay, male and female separate இருந்தா what is that called as? Yes, dioecious otherwise known as bisexual, right? And whereas ஒன்றா இருந்துச்சுன்னா unisexual. Okay, okay. And the types of reproduction, normally it is sexual and asexual. Asexual it includes budding, gamete formation, and then sporulation, binary fission, sporulation, etc. And then okay, fertilization is of two types, internal and external. Okay, internal fertilization enna, external na enna? Okay, female. External na? Like example? Yes, example. எப்படி எக்ஸாம்பிள் பேர்ட்ஸா? ஹியூமன்ஸ்க்கு okay. Now let us see the two phylum, right? That is non-chordates and chordates. Chordates na we know mudug elambu, backbone, that is there, but here these are the category which doesn't have a yes, they are otherwise called as invertebrates, which includes Porifera, Colonerata, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, and then Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. But whereas protochordates na, it includes Protochordata, and then vertebrates na yes, yeah, backbone, like example pieces, amphibia, reptiles, aves, and mammalia. Okay, next let us see about phylum Porifera. Okay, இது எங்கே இருக்கும், இந்த எங்கே பார்த்துருக்கீங்க? Sea, yes, mostly they are aquatic only, that is marine and some freshwater habitat. And example வந்து spongilla, and the size வந்து ranges from 1 centimeter to 1 meter. அப்போ 1 cm இவ்வளோல இருந்து இவ்வளோ 1 meter கூட they are available. And then body wall வந்து it contains an outer dermal layer and or a pinnacoderm, and inner gastric layer called conoderm. Okay, inner is called as what? Conoderm. Outer? Pinnacoderm. Yeah, the pinnacoderm contains a flat cells called as pinnacocytosis. What is that? எதுக்கு? To capture external prey. Okay, and then body organization வந்து they show cellular levels of organization. அப்படின்னா cellular level of organization na only cells, yeah, correct. And they are almost independent, that is cooperating very little with one another in function. Germ layers on the diploplastic, only 2 layers is present, and that is ectoderm and endoderm. Skeleton one they have, it is internal, which includes spicules and organic sponging fibers. And canal system is a network of channels called the canal system, with connected to a sponconeal to the outside through ostia. Okay, next okay, next phylum வந்து Colenelentrata. These are found externally in marine only, and then the body organization is they have a tissue grade organization. Tissue na next level of cells, but whereas before it was only cells. And they have a tentacles. Example idukku kodukka mudiyuma? Example for this tentacles இருக்கிற jellyfish, extra fittings jellyfishல இருக்காது, அது tentacles. அது வந்து எவ்வளோ இது, அது எதுக்கு tentacles எதுக்கு யூஸ் ஆகுது? Yes, movement, and also to capture the prey. And okay, the tentacles, and the mouth is surrounded by a thin layer, many thin, long, slender, hollow structure called tentacles, and the function is to paralyze and capture the prey, attachment, defense, and offense. And skeletal வந்து they are endoskeletal na, in some cases only it is exoskeletal. Respiration na exchange of gases and excretion occurs directly or contact with water. Yes, okay. Example வந்து இதுக்கு வந்து what I said, example for this, yes, jellyfish. And this phylum Teneropora வந்து they are again exclusively in marine only, and the body organization they are diploplastic, acoelomate. What is that? Acoelomate, sorry. Okay, what is that? Without? Yes. And Well, okay, the body symmetry is bilateral there, and then arrangement of a comb plate gives the appearance of radial symmetry, and the tentacles and the branching of the gastrovascular canal show bilateral symmetry. Digestive வந்து it is both extracellular and intracellular. அப்படினா என்ன பார்த்தோம் முன்னாடி extracellular intracellular digestive system னா
intracellular eating tiny food.
Yes. அப்போ ரெண்டுமே அவங்க they can eat, capable of eating, and respiration excretion occurs through general body surface. இதுக்குன்னு ஒரு தனி இது இல்லை அவங்களுக்கு, so bodyலயே it occurs. And then nervous system na they have nerve cells which is with an arboreal sense called a statocyte for balance. And reproduction development வந்து they are hermaphrodite or monoecious. Gonads are endothermal, and fertilization is generally external only. Okay, and the next phylum is Platyhelminthes. இவங்க வந்து they are the majority of the form in the forms of parasites only. Parasites na depend, yes, correct, depend, or disease causing pathogens also. And symmetry வந்து they are bilateral. Body cavity வந்து acoelomate, and the space between the wall and the body organ is characterized by a connective tissue called as parenchyma or mesenchyma. And the digestive system வந்து இவங்களுக்கு வந்து incomplete தான் இருக்கும், and always the only one opening for the mouth, that is there will be no excretion. அப்போ ரெண்டுமே ஒரே process தான், I mean ஒரே organல தான். Yes, single opening, correct. Respiration na they are generally body through body surface only. Excretory வந்து peculiar flame cells which can help in osmoregulation and excretion. What is osmoregulation?
Blood regulation.
Environment, okay, and the body ko environment ko they are capable of regulating it. And the nervous system na two longitudinal nerve cords are joined at the intervals by the transverse commissures. And then reproduction வந்து they are monoecious or bisexual, having both the female and male reproductive system. And fertilization includes one or more larval stages. அப்படினா larval stages? Eggs, yes, correct. Okay, example for this?
Leech.
Yes, leech. Okay, correct. Okay, next one is, what is that? Yes, and they are same அவங்க மாதிரி தான் முன்னாடி, இவங்க கொஞ்சம் advanced maybe. They are free living and may occur in water or within the soil, and they are bilateral, and they have a organ system of the level of the organization. So only organs if they are developed. And germ cells வந்து triploblastic and have a tube within the tube body plan. And then the wall one it contains an outer circle and a syncytial epidermis and a muscular layer, and a circular muscles are absent in them. இங்கே வந்து digestive system is very complete in this case of organisms, and a very well developed muscular pharynx. What is that pharynx என்னது? Pharynx, correct. nasal புரியல. Yes, breathe. Larynx na
Throat, windpipe.
windpipe, okay. This one pharynx, edu windpipe, edu food pipe?
Larynx no windpipe.
Okay, food pipe?
Larynx.
Okay, and the excretory வந்து they have a pair of gland cells which are intercellular or both. Nervous system na they have a nerve ring around the pharynx with dorsal and ventral longitudinal nerve cords. Reproduction வந்து only by sexual method, and sexes are separate and exhibit a sexual dimorphism. And then fertilization it is internal, it is by fertilized egg or directly or indirectly through a larvae, that is larvae? Yes. Okay, and the next phylum is Annelida, and this term Annelida was found first coined by Lamarck, okay, the scientist name, and in 1809, okay. And then here maybe they are aquatic, terrestrial, or a free living or parasitic, and the body wall is covering by a, okay, example for Annelida example? Leech இதுக்கு இது லீச்சா? ஆமாம் இதான் லீச். அப்போ அதுக்கு முன்னாடி அது லீச் இல்லை, சாரி. முன்னாடிக்கு என்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள்? நீ எப்போ லீச் சொன்ன? இதுக்கா சொன்ன? இதுக்கு சொன்னியா? இதுக்கு தான் டேப் ஃபார்ம் நான் சொன்னேன்ல, நீ எதுக்கு நீ லீச் டேப் ஃபார்ம் நான் சொல்லு. இது லீச் இல்லை சார், உனக்கு மறந்து. Okay, annelida நினச்சிட்டேன். Okay, and the germ layers வந்து these are triboplastic, and organization வந்து they show a organ system of classification, and cephalization வந்து they have a true cephalization, that is what? Cephalization, yes. And skeleton வந்து they are hydrostatic skeleton for the animals, and locomotion வந்து they move by paired or lateral hollow fleshy appendages in the segment called as parapodia or a chitinous setae. These are the what appendages. Okay, digestive system na it's very straight and incomplete, starting from mouth and ending at the anus. Okay, these are the first animals to have a closed circulatory system. Okay, Annelida, phylum Annelida, these are the first animals which have a closed circulatory system. And the phylum Orthopoda, idhula na include example Orthopoda ku? Orthopoda example? Prawn, yes, correct. Okay, and they may be aquatic or terrestrial also, and these are the free living or in parasitic forms, like example bedbugs, ticks, mosquitoes, etc. And the body is segmented externally. Abdina? Yes, okay. And like they have a distinct head, thorax, abdomen. இப்போ முன்னாடி பார்த்த வரைக்கும் இந்த மாதிரி டிஸ்டிங்க்டா எதுவும் இல்ல. So here from here this phylum only it starts. And then symmetry வந்து they are bilaterally symmetrical, and they have a triploplastic with organ system level of organization. Appendages also they have like paired appendages which is present in some or all somnites or segments. And then exoskeleton வந்து okay, appendages எதுக்குலாம் யூஸ் ஆகலாம், like walking, jumping, yeah, movement, feeding, etc. Exoskeleton they have a is formed of a thick, tough and a non-living chitinous cuticle. And then the exoskeleton protects the animal from chemical and mechanical, yes, injuries. And then locomotion through appendages. And then digestive it is very complete and well developed in this case, and that is divided into foregut, midgut and hindgut. Okay, and then respiration is through general body surface or gills. Gills na breathe பண்றதுக்கு, ஸ்விம்க்கு இல்ல. And book lungs la வந்து scorpion, spider லியும், அதுக்கப்புறம் trachea in cockroach, and book gills na king crab ல இருக்கும். And excretion வந்து the organs are malphigian tubules that is opening into duct. And then they also have a green glands opening directly to the exterior, that is green glands or a malphigian tube they have. And the nervous system வந்து it's like a ring, nerve ring, and a double ganglionoid ventral nerve cord is present in them. Reproduction வந்து is by sexual method, and fertilization usually internal only. And few are viviparous. Viviparous na என்னது? எக் பொரிஞ்சு குட்டி வெளிய, அது இது இல்ல சாரி, oviparous ரெண்டுமே கலந்து இருக்கிறது தான் viviparous, ரைட்? எக்ஸும் அப்புறம் பர்த் கொடுக்கிறது. ஷார்க் எக்ஸாம்பிள், எஸ், கரெக்ட். Okay, another phylum is, next phylum is mollusca, and examples like octopus. mollusca na என்னது? லைக் எப்படி இருப்பாங்க, ஓடு இருந்தால் mollusca. ஓகே, ஓடு இருக்குல்ல எல்லாருக்குமே. ஓகே, these are mostly marine waters, marine forms, and some are fresh waters also. And these are bilateral, symmetrical, and also have symmetrical due to a torsion. Body வந்து they are unsegmented. இதை segment பண்ண முடியாது இல்லை இந்த ஓடுங்கள் எல்லாம். So they are unsegmented and covered by a soft body, covered by a calcareous shell which is differentiated in head, muscular foot and a visceral lump. And then skeletal வந்து the shells on the exoskeleton. In octopus shell is absent. Octopus எப்படி இருக்கும்? 8, yes. Body cavity வந்து it is reduced through a, what is that? Ciliomate na என்னது? ஏனா ஓகே, இன்னொரு கேட்டகரியில அப்புறம் பார்ப்போம். Okay, digestive tract is very complete in this organisms, and the mouth contain a rasping organ called radula which fly like transverse rows of chitinous teeth, and anus opens into a mantle cavity. Respiration through lungs only, and aquatic formula irundanga through gills, and then excretion they have this kidneys also, so excretion may be like through that, and circulation vandu open type of circulation is present, whereas closed na in the phylum first.
Annelida.
Yes, Annelida. Annelida.
Annelida.
Okay, yes. First closed circulatory system, yes, okay. And here excretion patacha, circulation patacha. Nervous vandu they have a few pairs of ganglia like cerebral, visceral and pedal with nerves are present. அப்ப இவங்களுக்கு தான் nervous system வந்து கொஞ்சம் differentiate இருக்கு, கொஞ்சம் develop ஆயிருக்கு இந்த organismsல, like sorry இந்த phylumல. And reproduction vandu sexes are separate mostly, and mostly they are oviparous. Oviparous na? Yes, and fertilization is external or internal in this type. And the next is phylum Echidodermata. Okay, echinose na enadhu? Echinose. Echinose na? Echino theriyuma? Spines. Okay, echinose na spines. Derma na we know it is skin. So skin containing spines, yes, okay, correct. And these are the forms of both marines only, but these are bottom dwellers. Bottom dwellers na? Dwellers கீழ இருப்பாங்க அவங்க எல்லாம், okay. வாட்டருக்கு symmetry வந்து they are radial symmetry, but larva young stage ல இருக்கும்போது they are bilateral, like example இவங்களுக்கு starfish, okay. And then வந்து the head வந்து it is absent in the echinoderm, but always body lacks, yes, segmentation பண்ண முடியாது, body cavity with a true coelom which is lined by a ciliated peritoneum, and they have a most distinctive feature like water vascular system or a umbilical system with the tube feet with the help in the locomotion and capture of food and respiration. இத தான் அவங்க சொல்றாங்க இந்த external இது vascular system. And endoskeletal வந்து called as ossicles beneath the skin. So beneath the skin there is a part called as ossicles, okay, in Echidodermata. Locomotion is carried out by tube feet, and digestion it is very simple and a complete tract, and the mouth is in the lower side and the anus is in the upper side, okay. And respiration is by அவங்களுக்கு இருக்க tube, அந்த feet தான், இந்த feet தான் tube தான், அந்த இல்ல அந்த wings தான் அவங்க tube feet ன்னு சொல்றாங்க, so that is by through that only, and it is reduced and open type called hemal system. அப்போ circulation system in phylum Echidodermata what they call? Hemal system, yes, okay. And excretion வந்து excretion organs are absent here, so it is removed by diffusion through bronchi or ambiocytes. Nervous system வந்து it contains a nerve ring, transverse and radial nerves. And reproduction on the sexual, which is both the sexes are separate. Where example for this? Where example? Sea urchin தெரியுமா? ஒரு பல்கர் ரவுண்டா குச்சி குச்சி தெரியுமா? அது கூட கலர்ல கலர் black கலர்லயா? நான் சொல்றது புரியுது தானே? முள்ளு முள்ளா இருக்குமா? ஒரு பஞ்சா ஆர்ச்சிட்ஸ். எனக்கு கலர் தெரியல. Okay, and the next one is phylum Hemichordata. Okay, what they have, they usually live in marine and mostly live in burrows. Burrows na? Yes, தோண்டி அதில் தான் வாழ்வாங்க. And they are bilateral symmetrical and triploblastic, and the body வந்து very soft, cylindrical and unsegmented body which is divided into proboscis, collar and a trunk. Digestive system வந்து it is complete here. Respiration வந்து several pairs of gill slits, and then circulatory it is a open tank which contains a dorsal heart na? Dorsal என்னது? Ventral, dorsal ventral. எது? Ventral na?
பின்னாடி back.
Okay, ventral na முன்னாடியா? dorsal na அப்படி இல்லையே. It contains a dorsal heart. நீ என்ன சொன்ன? Front. Okay, I'll refer this and I'll let you know. Okay, nervous system வந்து it is a primitive early the simpler which contains mainly of intraepidermal nerve plexus and then sensory வந்து sensory cells of the epidermis வந்து acts as a sense organs here. Reproduction வந்து mostly sexual and the sexes are separate here. Okay, hemichordata அப்படினா hemiனா half, அப்போ half chordata இவங்க. Okay, hemina half. Okay, and the next one is chordata. Chordata வந்து chordata na என்ன சொன்ன chordata முதுகெலும்பு இருக்கு. Okay, and these are solid rod like structure. Okay, yeah, correct தான். டார்சல்னா பின்னாடி இல்லை, பின்னாடி தான், நீ முன்னாடிலாம் சொன்ன பின்னாடி டார்சல்னா இங்கே பார். ராட் லைக் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் present the dorsal side of the body. முதுகெலும்பு பின்னாடி தானே இருக்கும். பட் ஓகே, ஐ வில் கன்ஃபார்ம் இட். ஓகே, nerve cord வந்து hollow tube like structure which on the dorsal side of the body, and then pharyngeal gill slits இவங்களுக்கு இருக்கு. That is a pair of opening formed on the lateral side of the pharynx that communicates to the exterior, and also they have a post anal tail. அப்படினா post anal tail na yes, anus kapparama they have a tail. Okay, it is reduced in some adults but found in majority of the chordates. It is solid slender structure found as the posterior end of the body after the anus. Some of the features are like they have a ventral heart and a closed circulatory system, and then hemoglobin is present in the red RBCs. Hepatic portal system is also produced, present. Hepatic portal system na hepatic liver, hepatic na liver. Okay, liver portal system, and then digestive and excretion also occurs through kidney. Okay, next we'll see the difference between chordates and non-chordates. இங்கே வந்து present apps are the first difference, and then central nervous system is dorsal, hollow and single, and then here it is ventral. Pharynx வந்து by gill slits, and இங்கே வந்து gill slits la absent. Heart is ventral, here is dorsal if present only, and post anal part is present but where here is absent. Okay, now we'll see the classification of phylum chordata. One is urochordata, cephalochordata and vertebrata. Okay, and the first one is phylum urochordata. This is an example for urochordata. These are covered by a tester composed largely of tunicin, and they are commonly called as tunicates since it is covered by tunicin. And the notochord is present only in the tail of the larva and disappears in the adult. And coelom is absent, and digestive tract is very complete, and respiratory system has 2 to numerous gill slits in the pharyngeal wall. So respiration அப்போ எதில் இருக்கும்? Yes, and circulatory system is open which has a simple tubular heart, and larva undergoes retrogressive metamorphosis. What is that? Retrogressive metamorphosis, sorry. What is that? Okay, larva undergoes retrogressive metamorphosis. அப்படினா larva na குட்டிலேருந்து அதுதான் ஸ்டார்டிங் ஸ்டேஜுக்கு வந்து லார்வானா கரெக்டாக தான் நீ சொன்னேன். அப்போது அது வந்து ஒரு இதுவாக மாறுறதுக்கு ரொம்ப ப்ராசஸ் இருக்கும். தட் இஸ் நோன் ஆஸ் ரெட்ரோக்ரெசிவ் மெட்டாஃபோரோசிஸ். ஓகே, அதர் இஸ் ஃபைலம் cephalochordata. இவங்க வந்து the notochord வந்து extends the entire length of the body, but அங்க வந்து only it is half, but here it is full, and passes ahead of the nerve cord in the front. And notochord வந்து process throughout the life, but அங்க வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும்? பழசுல முன்னாடி யூரோகார்டில் யங்கில் இருக்கும், ஒரு அடல்ட்டாக டெவலப் இருக்காது. பட் இங்கே வந்து இட்ஸ் த்ரூ அவுட் த லைஃப். த ட்ரூ endocoelom is present and however reduced in the pharyngeal region of atrium. Okay, next next subphylum வந்து vertebra. Okay, what is vertebra?
With backbone. Got it.
Yes. Okay, represents the higher chordates இவங்கெல்லாம் with which includes the vertebrates or a craniates. Notochords is present only in the embryonic stage. In adults, it is replaced by a vertebral column consisting of a ring-like bones called as vertebrate. And circulatory system வந்து it is very closed and also ventrally situated heart and a hepatic portal system எல்லாமே இங்க well developed. And respiratory pigmentation, it also have hemoglobin and RBCs and a hepatic also, yes. And respiratory தப்பா இருக்கு. Excretory வந்து it is a through pair of kidneys only, and there are unisexual and lack asexual reproduction. Like examples for this, birds வேற என்ன இருக்கு, fish, frogs. Okay, now let us see the classification of the subphylum vertebrata. Vertebrata is divided into two. One வந்து with lax jaw and which bears jaw. Lax jaw na which includes class Cyclostomata, and whereas this is superclass, it is Pisces and Tetrapoda. Pisces include yes, all types of fishes that bears fins, and here வந்து Tetrapoda na they have limbs. Like example, amphibia, reptiles, aves, mammals. Here வந்து chondrichthyes and osteocytes. Okay, next we will see class Cyclostomata. Okay, it is a group of agnathans. என்னது முன்னாடி பார்த்தோம், என்னது அது agnathans? முன்னாடி பார்த்தோமே, what is that? பார்த்து சொல்றேன். Yeah, that lax jaw. என்ன சொன்ன? Dependent. Okay, this lax jaw and yes, jawless fishes and the lampreys and the hagfishes. Like examples வந்து இவங்களுக்கு வந்து lampreys and hagfishes, and both groups have jawless mouth with a horny epidermal structures that functions as a teeth. Okay, jaw na என்னது? அப்போ அவங்க they don't have this, but they have a function of teeth that is known as horny epidermal. And then branchial arches that are internally positioned instead of external as in jawed fishes. This is the example of Cyclostomata. Okay, cyclos na circular, stome na mouth. So இவங்க வந்து these are the organisms with circular mouth, okay, without any jaws. Okay, and the next one is chondrichthyes, which are known as cartilaginous fishes. What is that cartilage na? Flesh, yes. Cartilage example? Okay, இப்போ ஹியூமன்ஸ்ல எங்க cartilage னா எது? cartilage muscles இல்ல, cartilage னா என்னது? Example, skin இல்ல, காது, cartilages. Yes, இது காது. Okay, they are mostly marine, called as, what is that? Poikilothermica. Sorry. Okay, they have a capacity to regulate their body temperature, nothing known as osmoregulation, and then their body is laterally compressed and a simple spindle shaped. Spindle shaped na? Yes. And the notochord is persistent throughout their life, and the mouth is ventral in position, and skin which has a tuft containing minute palacoid scales, and teeth are modified into palacoid scales. Our mean la eppadi irukum? Scales. And they have a strong jaw, and they are predators in nature, and the gill slits are generally 5 pairs. The gills covering the operculum are absent, and heart is only 2 chambered, with one is auricle and one is ventricle, and the air bladders are absent, so they swim constantly to avoid sinking. And அப்போ ஏன் அவங்க sink ஆகலனா, what is the reason behind them? Air bladders are absent. Okay, and some of them possesses electric organs, as example torpedo, and some possess poisonous sting. Examples for this case, this type of cartilaginous fishes. Where? Stingray, yes, correct. Okay, and that's all. Okay, here the sexes are different and fertilization is internal only. Okay, and next class is oysters. These are bony fishes. அப்ப அவங்க these are bony fishes. They are as well as found in marine and fresh water, and these are called as cold blooded animals. Cold blooded na cold blooded, warm blooded, ஆமா. Okay, cold blooded, warm blooded அப்படினா அப்படி இல்ல, அப்படியா இல்ல, அப்படி இல்ல.
தண்ணியில நம்மள இப்ப கோல்ட் அந்த ஹீட்டா இல்ல,
எனக்கு குழப்பி விடுறீங்க எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்துட்டு. மறந்துட்டு நான் போய் பார்த்துட்டு சொல்கிறேன் உங்களுக்கு. The body is, they have the body to facilitate swimming easily through the water, and then the exoskeleton which contains a dermal scales like scycloid or a stenoid scales. Aprom the gills are covered with operculum which covers the gills, and generally of 4 pairs. There are 4 pairs of gills in this type of class, and their heart is of 2 chambers. One is auricle, another is ventricle, and here is air bladders are present. So they are hydrostatic, or they are the hydrostatic organs. Hydrostatic na? Yes, and fins are paired and unpaired, which are supported by the fin rays. Tail is always a homoceral, that is of equal lobes. Equal lobes andana fish idu panna mudiyum, swim panna mudiyum, so they are equal lobes or divisceral type. And these are aminolitelic animals that excrete ammonia, and then the sexes are separate, which the fertilization is external, mostly viviparous, and development is direct only. These are the examples of bony fishes. Okay, examples for this class is what type of fishes? முன்னாடியும் fishes இருந்துச்சுல்ல, catla, catfishes, sea horses, these are the examples. Okay, now it is super class tetrapoda. Tetrapoda என்ன பார்த்த முன்னாடி? Tetrapoda முதுகெலும்பா? அப்போ இவங்களுக்கும் முதுகெலும்பு இருக்கு பின்னாடி. Tetrapoda என்ன பார்த்தோம்? 4 which bear limbs. Yes, okay. adula there are various classes. The first class is amphibians. We know amphibians, right? Example, frogs, and they are fresh water and most in also in moist land. Plants இதே மாதிரி இருக்கு, அவங்க பேர் என்ன நம்ம பார்த்தோமே? Amphibia. இப்போ animalsல amphibian frogs. Algae என்ன கேக்குறியா நீ? Bryophytes. Okay, the body is compressed and cylindrical and differentiated into head and trunk. Okay, and the nostrils they have, which is connected to the buccal cavity, that eye, and eye have eyelids, and a pair of external nerves for the olfaction, and a pair of eyes with movable eyelids also present. And then tymphanum represent the cara. Okay, skin is mostly smooth and smooth and valu irukum frogs la, and then the high vascular and they are rich in glands, and scales are generally absent here, and it helps in cutaneous respiration. Amphibians only have 2 pairs of limbs, that is they are used for locomotion. Skeleton is bony, and the notochord does not persist, and the skull is dicondylic, that is they have a 2 occipital condyles, and most vertebrates are procoleus. digestive system வந்து it is well developed and the mouth is large and the teeth is the upper or the lower jaw or both the jaws. Respiration வந்து they have gills, lungs and also by lining of the bucopharyngeal cavity and either by skin also. And then kidneys வந்து mesonephric and amphibians are mostly urotelic. Urotelic, what is that? Urotelic na? Excretion of
urinary bladder. Urea.
யூரிக் ஆசிட்னா யூரிக் ஆசிட், யூரியானா யூரியோடெலிக். இது வந்து இதுதான் இருக்கு. ஓகே, uric acid, urea, uricotelic na uric acid, yes, okay. இதுவா? Okay, and the fertilization is usually external but sometimes internal also seen. And these are the cold-blooded animals. That class comprises frogs, toads, nets, salmoners and caecilians, and then these are distinguished by having a aquatic gill breathing larval stage followed by the terrestrial lung breathing adult stage. Reptiles. Okay. Amphibian da reptile யாரு? எல்லாரும் இல்லல்ல அதுல கொஞ்சம்
எப்படி crocodileால ஃபுல் நேரமும் லேண்ட்ல வாழ முடியல, ஃபுல் நேரமும் வாழ முடியல,
வாழ முடியுமா? ஃபுல் நேரம் வாழ முடியல. அது
ஆம்பிபியன்ஸால பாதி நேரம் தண்ணியால மிச்ச நேரம் லேண்ட்ல தான் வாழணும். ஃபுல்லா ரெண்டுமே வாழ முடியாது அவங்களால.
ரெண்டுமே வாழ முடியும்.
ஃபுல்லா அதுலயே இருக்க முடியாது. ஆம்பிபியன்ஸால ஃபுல்லா அதுலயே இருக்க முடியாது. வாட்டர்லயே
ஆமா இருக்க முடியாது. crocodileலயும் இருக்க முடியாது. crocodile இருக்காதுல்ல.
லேண்ட்லயே கூட இருக்கும்.
அதுதான் நான் சொல்றேன், லேண்ட்லயும் இருக்கலாம் அதுலயும் இருக்கலாம்.
லேண்ட்லயே ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும் crocodile.
சரி இருக்கும். சரி, reptiles வந்து they are terrestrial, mostly terrestrial na, few live in water also and such as tortoise, crocodiles, etc. And they may have a long cylindrical or a short and broad. It is divisible as head, neck, trunk and tail, and they have a tried, rough and non-glandular skin. Endoskeleton வந்து bony இங்க, and the skull is mitochondrial for articulation with the vertebral column, and the digestive system is well developed and they have a very large mouth with the orchronate teeth in the both of the jaws, and the jaw bones are movable to swallow a large prey. And heart is usually 3 chambered here and 2 auricles and 1 ventricles, and the ventricle is incompletely divided by a septum, and the four heart chambers வந்து யாருக்கு இருக்கும்? In crocodiles only, in this case of reptiles la. And RBCs are oval. Red blood cells normal என்ன ஷேப்ல இருக்கும்? Yes, biconcave, but here வந்து it is oval only, and the excretion வந்து through kidneys and they uric acid, that is known as what? Uric acid na? Telic. And okay, aquatic forms excrete urea na? Okay, the next one is aves. Aves na? Yes, and aerial mode of life na? பறந்துட்டே மேலே அப்படியே. They spend most of the time in the air only. Characteristic வந்து it's the presence of feathers, and the body is usually streamlined, which is divided into neck, head, trunk and also tails. And the endoskeleton வந்து it is fully ossified na, fully bony, that is bony, and is made up of a delicate and a light bones because of because of flight. Locomotion வந்து it is through wings only, and they have a modified forelimbs to into wings, and hind limbs generally have scales and modified for swimming, walking, and also for collapsing the tree branches. And the digestive system வந்து has additional 3 chambers in birds, the crop and the gestalt. The alimentary canals வந்து leads to 3 chambered cloaca, and excretory வந்து it is through kidneys only, and excretory வந்து semi solid is uric and urine. Okay, urine வந்து I mean excretory mainly by uric and urine தான். And the birds are warm blooded or a hemothermal animals, that is they maintain a constant body temperature called as warm blooded. Cold blooded na they cannot maintain the body temperature. And also known as birds, a group of endothermic vertebrates characterized by feathers, toothless beaked jaws, and the laying of hard shelled eggs, and also they have a high metabolic rate with a 4 chambered heart, and also a strong yet lightweight skeleton. But they are strong but with yes. Okay, and the next is mammals, class Mammalia. Okay, give some examples. Yes, human, monkeys, whales. Yes. Okay, it comprises about 5,499 species in this Mammalia group. Okay, இவங்க எங்கெல்லாம் இருப்பாங்க, habitats எங்கெல்லாம் இருப்பாங்க இந்த இடத்துல? Yes, land. ஒன்று தானே? சரி, வேற forest, mountain, deserts, etc. Okay, and some have adapted to fly or even live in the water. That is example what you said. Okay, and the body is divided into head, neck, and then what else? Head, neck, trunk, and tails. இல்லையா பின்ன? குரங்குக்கு இல்லை, ஹியூமன். முன்னாடி பழைய காலத்தில் பழைய ஒரிஜின். ஓகே, அப்புறம் வேற என்ன ஃபீச்சர்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கும் இவங்களுக்கு? சரி, வேற என்ன ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் இருக்கும்? mammary glands present for them, and then வேற என்ன features? Distinctive features என்ன? Yes, correct, 4 chambered, and then that what என்ன 4 chambersல என்னது? Ada 2 auricles and 2 ventricles, and then what else they have? Yes, they are warm blooded. அப்படினா என்ன warm blooded என்ன? Yes, constant temperature. வேற அப்புறம்
lymphatic tissues.
Yes, lymphatic systems இருக்கு. அப்புறம் வேற RBC சொல்றல, இருக்கு. Yes, இருக்கு, அதெல்லாம். வேற ரெஸ்பிரேஷன் எப்படி உங்களுக்கு? Yes, then excretion. Yes, அப்புறம் வேற 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 Yes, well எல்லாமே வந்து well developed and advanced இருக்கும். வேற these possess hairs also, extra possessing hairs. Okay, அப்புறம் வேற they have and they have sweat glands, sebaceous gland, etc. These all they have. And what else they have? வேற
5 senses.
Yes, 5 senses, extra one. Okay, அப்புறம் வேற
6
Okay, and then வேற 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 fertilization எப்படி இருக்கும்?
internal.
Yes, fertilization and internal. அப்புறம் ஓகே, அதானே இன்டர்னல். சரி, வேற வேற எப்படி, வேற என்ன டிஸ்டிங்க்ட் ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் தே ஹேவ்? ஓகே, அவங்க விவிபாரஸா ஓவிபாரஸா யார் அவங்க?
Viviparous. Produce young ones.
ஓகே, இவங்க ஓவிபாரஸா இருக்க மாட்டாங்களா? Some have oviparous, right? And then what else? வேற என்ன? வேற
Mammary gland.
memory சொல்லியாச்சு. அப்புறம் and they have 12 pairs of cranial nerves, cranial nerves. Okay, 12 pairs of cranial nerves present in them. Okay, and வேற
vertebral column, vertebral column. 12 pairs of ribs.
yes, ribs, correct. And then and this embryo வந்து எங்க டெவலப் ஆகும் உங்களுக்கு? fetus எங்க டெவலப் ஆகும்?